Welcome back to Solo Stoner. This is a individual endeavor of smoke, chill, and chit chat. So my girlfriend's still here, but I'm gonna just be talking more like a stream of consciousness. So I'm not that high right now. My eyes are a little tired. So let's get this podcast started off correctly. I have a lot on my mind. So I don't believe that you should believe me. Let me just say that, okay? I think you should always question what reality is, what you know, what you think you know, what you think someone knows, I don't know. So what I'm trying to say is this is just my personal opinion, and I'm going to mix it in with a little couple gut intuition, maybe psychic predictions. So I've always felt that I had a little bit of psychic predictions in my gut. I always felt like whenever I would ignore my gut, whenever I would ignore that little voice that says, don't do it, no, you know better, whenever I would ignore it, I'd pay the price. It was always something like, fuck, I knew better. Ah, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have done that. And then it would be a thing of like paying twice, because then now I'm in trouble, or now something bad is happening to me, and I'm beating myself up in my own head because I knew better. So as I got older, I started listening to that voice more and more, and it guides me. It guides me in a way that I don't think anything else could possibly guide me. And a big part of that, and it's something that I've been thinking about because I've been wanting to make another video. These podcasts are starting to grow on me. I'm starting to enjoy just chit chatting away about different multiple topics that are on my mind. But one of them is the power. Now follow me, please. Of word. So I want to kind of dissect that for a little bit for a second. The power of words. I mean, I'm talking right now. I'm using words. So I would want to say that there is something special about communication. I mean, we as humans, we made a language. We can speak to each other. We made multiple languages. We made a bunch of different languages, and then just to talk to each other, just to describe how our day's going. And there's a gigantic fly that I just saw in the frame, but hopefully it doesn't come back. I think it just wanted to say hello. So you could Google fly spirit animal if you want right now. That's probably a good omen to follow. Um, okay, so then going back to what I was saying, right? What was I saying? Fuck, I hate when I'm stoned like this.
Power of.
Oh, yes, thank you, baby. The power of your words. So it's a thing of like, I think back to before there was communicating in language with words. And I just think back to a time where language wasn't invented, but people were still around. And we weren't living in these cities, that we have now, where you get your Wi-Fi and you could just turn on a faucet with water. And they lived a very different life. It was a thing of survival. It was a thing of like not dying for as long as possible, right? So we kind of mastered that as humans. Now we live a lot longer, and it's an interesting thing. What we've developed is this like coding of in, like intention, and this interpretation, this way to for someone to, let's just say, create a thought in their mind, be able to talk to themselves about this thought before they then express it and talk to someone else, who then gets an idea too and talks back and expresses a new idea. And this is a very interesting thing, speaking this coded language. So for me, I've been reading books. I've been reading lots of books since I was younger, and you get to a point where they all start saying the same thing. It's basically like the belief in your words is magical. There's power in belief, and so I grew up, listening to a lot of different opinions, but mostly they were from the Catholic faith. My family, my mom and dad, teachers. I went to a Catholic school, and so they all try to frame, what they think you should know, and then when you stray out of that, they get kind of upset. They single you out as some kind of troublemaker, and so, I mean, when I talk about the word, we could just go back to the Bible, to the beginning, right? To Genesis. And I do believe I'm misquoting the Bible, but it says somewhere in the beginning, it says, God spoke, like God spoke words. I don't know. It's like God spoke words. He said, let there be light. And then there was light, right? So just think about that. God, this, like, if you believe in God, right? Because there's people who don't, but then it's a thing of your own personal opinion. But if you believe in God, like what kind of version of God do you believe in? Because there's so many, and I think when it comes to being like a choice, we all get to choose. So, I mean, it's like in the beginning, God said, let there be light. And I dissect that sentence. I dissect it. I look at the sentence. I read it over again. I read it over again. It's like, let there be light. Like, so he just spoke words. He just said, let there be light, and boom, there was light. So God, he didn't have to think. Like, he doesn't say God thought, let there be light. It's just God spoke. Like, God said, let there be light. Like, even God had to excuse my language. Even God had to use words to like accomplish something. He couldn't just snap his fingers and it happened. How, I mean, you think about it, and they talk about God, and don't be upset at me, for like, he has infinite power, right? He's like everything. He could just do anything. He created us, out of dirt. He created women out of men. They stole a rib from, don't ask me, this gets weird. But then there's the Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And then there's Cain and Abel. And there's all these, it's like this thing of like a story, right? That connects this lineage. And it all starts off with God saying, let there be light. And so for me, I mean, this is just what I take away from that, is that words have God like powers. There's an ability to not only use them for good, but to use them for evil. And I think for this podcast, it's all about being chill and smoking. And right now, I'm feeling pretty good, So I'm gonna take another rip. I want to thank you all for listening. I'm going to be coming out with maybe shorter kind of solo stoner podcasts. So this is just kind of a trial and error thing. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying the chit chat. And we're going to have more smoke, chill, and chit chat coming soon. All right. Smoke with us. Peace.